What's good, everybody? NicMakesPlays here. Today, I'm going to do one of my favorite kinds of videos, top 5 best decks for ranked. As you guys know, I hit rank 1 9 seasons straight, and I care a lot about, I don't know, best decks for ranked. I like playing ranked. So if anyone has their goals, whatever, hit Masters, Diamond, Plat, whatever your goals are, here are what I think are the top 5 absolute best decks for ranked. And here we go. And before we get into our first deck, make sure you guys like, subscribe, at the end of the video, comment below what you guys think. I want to clarify that these decks are statistically the best decks. Like, these aren't my versions of the decks. They're just, I got the highest win rate versions of the decks, and that's what these decks are. So, here's the first deck. The best deck in the game right now is TF Nami. I gotta give credit where credit's due. The original variation was made by a player named Drysoft. Very good with these Twisted Fate Nami type decks. So, at first you may be thinking this is just a pile of cards. How is this the best deck in the game? That's because it is a pile of cards, and it is the best deck in the game. So, basically, it uses tons and tons of spells, especially using the Shadow Isle's Telstone, to discount Burblefish down to 0, so you get like easy 0 mana elusives, activate Admiral Fleet Shelly, stuff like that, and then Nami, whenever you play a spell, grant +1/+0 to the weakest other ally that isn't immobile. And then when she's leveled, she grants +2/+1. So basically, you kind of just have a well-rounded game plan that can adapt in the spot, where you're able to be like, okay, I'm just going to play for value against value decks, because you have all kinds of like card generation, coral creatures, spray fins, stuff like that. And when the time's right, you're just like, okay, I'm going to spam elusives, right? You go Admiral Shelly, bunch of Burblefish, Nami, buff your whole board with each spell to Shelly. Shelly says, when you play two spells each round, grant other allies +1/+1. So use Shelly and Nami to buff all your elusives and just kill them 20-0 in one turn. You have well-rounded cards like Vengeances, you have Removal, Tentacle Smash, you have level TF, win con, as well as he's just well-rounded, because he can do like the red card, obviously blue card to refuel, gold card. It's a well-rounded deck, and then the times to strike, you're able to just buff all your elusives and kill them, or in value games, you can go for the value. So very, very strong deck, very hard to deal with, kind of just abuses like how well and how good the effects these cards are in unison with a bunch of spells, and it runs a bunch of spells. So this is actually currently the best deck in the game right now, believe it or not, if you haven't seen it before. It's really good. Next we have Bard Ahri as the second best deck in the game. So Bard, one of the best champs in the game, previously was used mostly with the Petrified Broadwing, Breaks Protector, the Demacia Challenger version, that got nerfed. Still very good, but now it's found a new home with Ahri and all the Ionia cards. So, Bard is able to buff the Ahri to huge attack stats, which gets a lot of benefit, because she can recall things to strike and push for huge damage. You can buff your elusives, like the Droplet, the Morin, just go for, elusive game plan. You also have tons of interaction in this deck. You have, like, Homecoming. The Telstones can give you more Homecomings. You have recalls, denies, notifies, buffs. So, like, this deck is extremely well-rounded and can make huge benefit off Bard. You have cards like Shadow Assassin and Sign-In, which can draw the chimes and buff your board. So it's kind of like the last deck in a way, where it's well-rounded, right? You can either just play the value game, play the control game, just kind of get on board, chip away with elusives. And the time's right to strike, you just, play a bunch of buffed up elusives from Bard, and just attack your opponent for game with the leveled Ahri. So yeah, this has answers just about everything. Again, the Ionia spell package just gives you really easy ways to answer tons of threats, like challengers. You can just homecoming them. They try and stop you, you have deny. You have a lot of draw with the Shadow Assassin to sign in, and then you got the power now with the Bard buffing your units. So you're able to just pretty much hit every nail on the head of what a deck needs to be doing, and this is the second best deck in the game right now. The third best deck in the game right now, because this is actually my own version, because I already have my version uploaded, is Zoe Aphelia. Some people run 1 Vi for more control aspect, but I just made mine all aggro, because I like aggro. This is basically Winding Light Turbo, so we have the Winding Light. Funny enough, actually not good at Nightfall, from a Nightfall enthusiast myself, but amazing in this deck. Like, this deck is, like, made for the Winding Light. Basically, this is the Winding Light deck. So, Nightfall, give other allies +2/+1 and overwhelm this round. So what you do is you just swarm the board with tons of units. It's very easy to play cheap units like Dustbringer, Urchin. Mostly the Flame Choppers and Boom Baboon let you get a wide board very easily. You play the Boom Baboon, discard the Chompers you get with Urchin, then you get the Chompers, then you just buff everything Winding Light. It's easy to have like a 5-6 wide board with the Winding Light buffing everything and go for game. So it's an aggro in disguise. A lot of the P and Z targets usually are more like mid-rangey or control-y, like slower. This is a very, very aggressive deck. You have Aphelios. So Aphelios, when you Nightfall, you pick a moon weapon, add to your hand. You actually attack with Aphelios in this deck. Instead of just sitting back and controlling the moon weapons, you use just a card where it's like a 3/3 that gives you a free card you swing with. So basically the goal is like in a regular aggro deck, you just swing with everything, put on a lot of pressure, And then by turn 6, you want to make sure you have a wide board, play the Winding Light, buff everything, and you just have a full board of buffed Overwhelm units. So what you can do, I say turn 6, is that the Night Dustbringer gives you a Dust Petal Dust. Dust Petal Dust says the next unit with Nightfall you play costs 1 less this round. So you get this on the, set up for turn 5, and then turn 6, you play the Winding Light, and then buff everything, and just insane pressure. You also have Burn, with Get Excited, Mystic Shot. Zoe's really good, kind of like Aphelios, where it's like, you just attack with it, and it gives you free cards. You can discard the star chart to give you or use them. You have Burn, Poro Cannon. It's as you can see here, buffing elusive units is really good right now. But yeah, this is basically the aggro deck of the season. It's a really unique one, so I like it. But yeah, you just swarm and attack. Don't let this be confused. Target on PNZ is an aggro deck. You will be swinging with your Aphelios and stuff, and then the Winding Light and the Burn's your finisher. Now the fourth best deck is Hymer Jace, a bit more on the mid-rangey control-y side to switch things up. No elusives here. So this is just a well-rounded deck right now. The play cast change was phenomenal for Hymer and Jace, meaning when you play your spells, you should immediately read their effects. So you have Hymer, when you play a spell, create a turret in hand equal to its cost. It costs 0, and then he has a billion turrets for each different cost. It's just a huge value deck. You have tons of removal. Aftershock costs 3 now. It's good unit removal. Piercing Darkness can heal. Costs 6. You have Shock Blast. You have 3 Vengeances. So you can deal with all kinds of their key cards with your spells. Hextech Handler. You can grant tech allies everywhere, so all the turrets. +1/+1. You played a 6-cost spell this game. Ferrous Financier gives you the more 6+ cost spells. Adaptatron. When you summon a tech, we all share keywords. So every single... It discards on the field all the turrets, everything, all the techs, they all share all the keywords. You play an elusive one, they all get elusive. Play tough, they all get tough. So basically, in the early game, you just control the game with your spells. You got Vial, Thermal Beam, what have you. Forge Cheat's good blocker. Then, when you can stick a Jace or a Hymer, they're pretty easy to level. And you just outvalue your opponent. The main bomb of this deck, Jace is really good. But I think Hymer's just so strong right now. The 4 health is actually kind of hard to deal with sometimes, especially because if they try and remove him, you can just chain spells and then get a bunch of turrets. So it's basically kind of just chill, control the game to control spells. Then when you can stick a Hymer, you just start spamming out his turrets. All the turrets are buffed from the Hextech Handler. They can share keywords in Adaptatron, and then your opponent just can't deal with it. And then Jace, when he levels by playing 2 6+ cost spells, easy in this deck. He doubles every 6+ cost spell you play. So you can double your Shock Blast to go for game, just all kinds of stuff. Double your Acceleration Gate, and he levels gives you an Acceleration Gate. Give your allies +2 and +0. Quick attack this round if they already have it, or double attack, give them around keywords. So basically, you can play a bunch of turrets and then play this, and then it doubles if Jace's on the field, and you just kill them. So yeah, this is the mid-rangey control-y deck of the season. Surprisingly, really good. Surprisingly, really, really good right now. Next, for the 5th best deck, we have Annie Twisted Fate, and make sure you don't go because there is gonna be an honorable mention. Annie Twisted Fate, very well rounded with the Riptide Rex buff, became extremely strong. So Riptide Rex now +1/+1. It used to be a 6/4, now it's 7/5 again, and it play Cannon Barrage 7 times. It used to be 6. Very good. So just a well-rounded deck. Has a lot of answers to things via the strong Noxus spells like Ravenous Flock and Disintegrate are really strong. Got Make It Rain, tons of draw. Just a well-rounded deck that can answer just about anything. You have Annie's level up strong. Twisted Fate's versatile. Rainbow Conservatory gives you the tie bulk. When I'm summoned, grant allies ever +1/+0. For rest of the game, all of your spells and skills deal 1 extra damage. Very strong with the Cannon Barrage from the newly buffed Rex. So very well rounded. Sentry can stun things. It just very hard to push through. And can flip a switch to being aggro, mid range, whatever control-y. It's versatile, and then you just drop Rex and you win. So there's actually one more honorable mention. This might be a surprise to some people, but it's actually kind of crazy the results this deck's getting. So let's get the last deck. The honorable mention is Thralls. So everyone thought, or most people thought, Thralls would be bad. They nerfed Promising Future. This card just costs 4. Now it costs 6. This got +2 cost, but you're like, wow, that's a huge nerf, That's gigantic. You think this deck would be bad. This deck, I think, has a 55% win rate. It's some of the highest... it's doing some of the best of all the high master ladder right now. People realize that, the Thrall game plan is just super hard to interact with, and a lot of the top decks can't deal with what it does. So Thralls are actually the honorable mention here. They might even be top 5. They maybe should have been above Twisted Fate Annie, but I didn't want to jump the gun because this has recently been a resurgence. The Thrall players have been like, wait a second, this deck's still amazing because it did. They did get a nerf of Promising Future, but they still have 2 of their best cards to date. This most recent expansion, they have Santa Times a 3 of, Harbinger of the Thralls a 3 of, exactly the deck needed. So this is also just a really strong deck and don't think it's going anywhere, even with the promising future nerf. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know decks you guys think are doing good in the meta. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoy these videos, and tons more videos this week. So, catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.